Uh, so, just FYI, guys, you may hear some noise on some of these clips. I need to mute them as soon as I can. But as you may see, that 10 in the left corner of the screen, as we only got 3 topics today. Top 10 games. Top 10 games we are looking forward to. Thoughts on E3 for this year, and then that's it. Just because I feel like, if anything, top 10 games are going to be probably taking up the most of the time. And then in the after show, we'll talk about games that didn't make the list. Because there were some games I was like looking through. I was like, fuck, I want this, but no, I can't fit in my top 10. So it kind of feels like making like your top 10 for game of the year. It kind of feels like that.
Yeah, I mean it's funny because the rule that we have is quite literally like, if it was at E3, then it can make this list. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
And if it does feel like there were so many good games that quite literally any of these could be. I mean, there's some that I'm going to say that won't be, like even a contender, just because of the type of game that it is.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a lot of games that I think I wrote down like 30 games. So what we're going to do, just for you guys so you know, is we're going to do our top 10 right now, and then after in the after show, we'll discuss some of the ones that didn't make the top 10.
Absolutely. So let's get right into it. I'm gonna start off. We'll be short. We'll be short with some of these because I feel like if we go on it for a bit too long, we won't get through.
Well, if we have 20 and we divide 20 by an hour, that gives us. Math is not my strong suit. It gives us a half an hour each. 10 divided by 3 is 3 minutes on each one. So go.
All right, that sounds good. All right, so my number 10 game I'm excited for is it's my bad. It's Smash Brothers Ultimate. It's not Super. So
That's your number 10?
That's my number 10. Here's the reason why.
Okay.
So Smash Brothers is fun. It is super fun. It's always awesome, and it's always a fun time when it's with friends or whenever it's presented in front of me. I'm excited for what the new changes that are put into the game. I'm excited for the new characters they put in. And essentially, this is the third strike form of Smash. This is basically them making the game better and better looking and everything else wise. The reason why I put it number 10 is because if it was put in front of me, I'll play it, but I'm not going out of my way to get it. I like to watch Smash competitively. I'll play it casually, when I have a Switch one day. But like, it's not something where I'm going to be going out of my way to play it like on day one to get. So that's my reasoning for it. So, all right.
So my number 10 now.
Yes. Now your turn.
I just want to make sure you're ready for that transition.
Yeah.
My number 10 is Cyberpunk 2077. So something about me that you'll know very quickly is that when it comes to fantasy or post-apocalypse, like, it's not usually my jam. Like, I like Elder Scrolls, I like Fallout, but I don't love them. Where I usually live is futuristic sci-fi space stuff. That's where my interests are really strong. And the fact that this is like futuristic and it's a city, like, just everything about this game is what I want. And the fact that it's made by CD Projekt Red, which are the guys behind The Witcher 3,
yes.
And having played The Witcher 3, I'm stoked for this game. And Alana Pierce of IGN, I follow her on Twitter, and she got to see an hour of the game. Like, they took people into a room at different times and gave them a chance to watch not only like video footage, but also like gameplay of it. And she said that this game not only will tickle a lot of people's fancies, but also it'll get banned in Australia.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
So she's like, it'll absolutely get banned in Australia. So I'm really fucking excited for this game.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny that it only made number 10. Like, because the rest, I'll go through the rest. But the other reason it made my top 10 and not higher is because there was no release date for it. We don't have a time in which it's going to come out. Like they said next year, but it could come out after E3 next year, so we'll see. But go ahead, you're number 9, Anthony.
All right, so transitioning into my number 9 is, okay, it's Indivisible, and I have to say this with a grain of salt, or not grain of salt, but like I gotta say this with a special tag-in or tagline that, yes, I am a big fan of Lab Zero. I play Skullgirls a lot. I'm supportive of their games, what they do, and 505 games. And I did back the game for Indivisible. So take it with a grain of salt. What you may take this, but I'm really excited for Indivisible. I like the way that it plays, it feels, the combat system, and it is very much a Valkyrie profile game that is very different but very similar at the same time. The exploration, the different types of characters in the game. It's again another beautiful hand-drawn type of game. It's really good. I am really excited for Indivisible, and I cannot wait for it to come out. So, all right. Greg, your number 9.
My number 9 is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So at the Xbox conference, they showed like a little bit of it, but not a lot. And then at the Square Enix like 30-minute video, they showed some actual gameplay. And it seems like they're going away from what, because I really love the like prequel to Tomb Raider, her like first adventure, if you will. I fucking loved that game. It was so good. And then the sequel expanded upon that by making Laura more confident in what she was doing, but she was still young. And by the way, it's not Laura, it's Lara, just so everyone understands. And the thing I didn't really like about the sequel, about Rise of the Tomb Raider, was that it really had an emphasis on like getting material and crafting your own stuff. I wasn't a huge fan of that. It seems like they've drawn away from that a little bit and gone more into like Lara just being a fucking badass, just being an absolute badass. So I'm really excited to play it. It also seems like it's going by the idea that stealth is an option, not the definitive way you have to take it. If a game ever has me play a moment where I have to be stealthy and then I fuck up and just the mission restarts itself, I'm gonna be angrier and angrier. And this game has never done that. So, yeah, really excited about it. I can't wait to play it. It's gonna end the trilogy.
Yes.
I think that Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix will continue making Lara Croft games, but this is the end of a specific trilogy in Lara's life before she starts to become what her dad was, and fulfill that whole like what it means to be a Croft. So I'm stoked. Yeah. And I never was that interested in Tomb Raider games prior to Square Enix getting a hold of it. So there's that.
Yeah, Square Enix definitely did a good job, and this is definitely the end of this origin trilogy to her. And when after this becomes where she actually becomes the Lara Croft that people have known her for quite some time. So, yeah. All right. So my number 8 is going to be. Oh yeah. So hey, Cyberpunk. So this was the game of the show that I've heard a lot of people talking about with there at E3. Like you said, Greg, I'm very much into sci-fi myself as well. And the stories I heard from a lot of people that were there at E3 I wish I was there, that were talking about exactly how the game is, exactly how it looks, what exactly is it going for, mixing GTA, mixing Mass Effect, mixing Deus Ex into one big thing. Funny, side note, apparently Cyberpunk is based on an actual tabletop game, Cyberpunk 2020.
Yes.
So I didn't know about that until recently. It looks good. It's very, very ambitious, and I hope they can pull this off. But what I've been hearing and what I've been seeing, like it is. I trust CD Projekt Red. Oh yeah, definitely. Same here. It is something special, what I've heard. So, we'll have to wait and see. But I'll definitely keep an eye on Cyberpunk.
Yep.
All right, your number 8, Greg.
My number 8 is Gears Tactics, or Gears of War Tactics. I'm a big fan of tactic games, so like the XCOM series, Mario plus Rabbids, Final Fantasy Tactics. I love those games. It's really fun to play in a 3D space and have characters kind of like have different jobs, have different abilities, and you kind of plan your attack very strategically. But it's all condensed. It's all like one little situation. Um, and you don't have to build anything. Like you're right into the action, and that's exactly what this game is. It's a tactics game. So I'm really excited to do that. Plus, I'm a big fan of the Gears storyline. I love the Gears of War franchise. I love the world that Cliff Bleszinski and Epic had made back when Gears 1 came out. I've played every single game of the franchise. Granted, there's only 5 at this point, but I've played them and I've beat them and I love them to death. So I'm really excited that there's 2 brand new story-based Gears games coming out. One plays differently, and the other one is traditional third person. But I'll get to that later. So yeah. I'm definitely down to play this one. I'm curious though. Like I know that it takes place 15 years before Gears 1, but like, is it at Immersion Day? Is it like right after? Is there some time after Immersion Day? Like I want to know, what city is it in? Is it in Jacinto? There's a whole load of questions I have about it, and I'm ready to dive in. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay, definitely. I mean, it's not on my list, but I definitely would like to play it when it comes out. So. All right, my number 7 for top 10 E3 games I'm looking forward to is Rage 2. Rage 2 was leaked this past year, and obviously there was speculation as far as like what it's going to be. We haven't seen anything Rage 2 related. They did show the trailer, the kind of teaser trailer of what it would look like before E3 happened, and then they went on during the E3 at the Bethesda press conference and showed off more gameplay. And from what I've heard, like the gameplay is Doom but Bulletstorm combined, because they're kind of going for that over the top kind of zany feel to the game. And when I heard Bulletstorm, I really love Bulletstorm. That game is I love it. It's an awesome fun game. So combined with Doom, with the open world of Rage 2 has me definitely interested in this game, and I am gonna be looking more forward to when it comes out, and it got me. It sold me. Like I'm in. I'm definitely in. It's not because of Entry WK coming out and singing party song.
So that was weird.
It was weird. Yeah, it was weird. So, all right, Greg, what is your number 7?
My number 7 is Anthem. As a BioWare fan, I'm really excited for whatever they have coming out next. And this game seems like a departure from classic BioWare games, where they're very story-driven, very RPG-driven. This game, from what I've been hearing from people at E3 when they got to play it, it's kind of a mix between. Sorry, in chat we have someone making a joke about a joke that was made at my expense. So that's what I stopped and laughed at. Anyway, people that have talked about it said it's kind of a mix between Monster Hunter and Mass Effect and Destiny. The Destiny part being like the world kind of like fucked over humans and now they're trying to survive. The Mass Effect part being it in third person, and the Monster Hunter part being the like the go to this area and do a thing to get materials to make yourself stronger kind of thing. Normally I'm not into grindy games, but I do love the idea of this game as a whole. So I'm excited to play around in it. Plus, like people have been saying that the controls are really easy. So basically, like if you click the right thumbstick in, that's how you start to fly. But if like you jump and then like tap A again, you'll just hover. So it's super easy to get in and out of like movement and stuff. So I'm really excited to like play with that, and yeah, I think Anthem's gonna be a lot of fun.
Cool, awesome. All right, so my number 6 is SOS. I can't completely pronounce the full name because I don't have the name in front of me.
Sea of Solitude?
Yes, Sea of Solitude. Thank you. Thank you for the assist there. I love the look of this game. I love what they're going for. I guess I have to play Grime at some point. Like I feel like if I like what this is going for, I should play Grime. But it very much reminds me of Limbo and how.
Did you say? Are you saying Grime or Rhyme?
Yeah, Rhyme. What game you told me that I should go play?
It's Rhyme.
Rhyme.
It's Rhyme. Actually, Josh just told me recently he's been playing Rhyme.
Oh, gotcha.
So I was like, what the fuck is Rhyme? And then I realized that this company made Rhyme, and I was like, oh, he's trying to say Rhyme. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I was so confused.
Yeah. So I guess I should play Rhyme, but like I really enjoyed the aesthetic. I like the idea where it's going for, and I like, again, I love Limbo. I love Play Dead stuff when it comes to the games, and it just very much reminds me of that. And it's something I'm definitely gonna keep an eye out and look for next year when it comes out. So that's my number 6. All right,
that was quick.
Mm-hmm.
My number 6 is Division 2. So, quick story. Division 1 served a very valuable purpose to me. I was stuck in North Carolina right after my first trip over there with MagFest and having the energy tank, but the problem was that the money that was supposed to come in to send me back home hadn't come in yet. So I was stuck in North Carolina. I didn't have enough money. I didn't have $400 to buy a plane ticket, but I did have $150 in my bank account. And I needed something to play, especially with my friends, that I could play for hours and hours and hours and not feel like I was bored. So Division filled that void. Now, arguably, Division didn't have a lot of content. It was lacking content, very similarly to Destiny. Destiny 1, I should say. I would argue that the story was better in Division, but that's for another fucking conversation. I did really enjoy, like, the way that I played Division was I beat the game, leveled up, did a bunch of strikes and stuff like that, and then I just kind of, like, roamed around the land as this high-powered character, collecting all the, like, random stuff that was on the ground to fill out the story. Normally I don't do that stuff. Normally that's not my bag, but I needed to do something, you know? So I think Division has, like, a warm spot in my heart, whereas other people got annoyed by it very quickly. That being said, when Division 2 was announced, I was like, yeah, I'll play it. I'll definitely play it, as I liked the first one. But what they've announced for this one makes me excited, because I fucking hate the Dark Zone in Division 1. Hate the Dark Zone. It looks like the Dark Zone is gone, and they're replacing it with a different kind of PvP situation, which is really exciting. Plus, it's like Washington D.C. Valerian chat was screaming in chat that that looks just like Washington D.C., which is great because I think it needs to be accurate. It is a Tom Clancy game, for Christ's sake. But there's like new addition things, like there's a glue on the ground that stops players from moving, makes them vulnerable, which is really cool. Looks like there's more to do. Enemies that aren't just bullet sponges, like you actually have to strategically get behind them and knock something off their back to make them vulnerable. There's going to be 3 expansions throughout the first year of the game that are totally free, and then 8-player raids, which I'm stoked about. Like, raids weren't even a thing in the first game, so this is awesome. I'm really excited for Division. And it looks like it's 4 players this time instead of 3. Division 1 was 3, so.
Not to mention that they have that free content coming down the pipeline for it too as well.
I said that.
Oh, oops.
I said in the first year there's 3 expansions that are free.
My bad. Well, that tells me I'm not paying attention.
oh, that's how that feels.
sorry. I just.
All right, so yeah, I'm excited for Division 2, and that's why it's. And then keep in mind, this is my number 6. Imagine where I'm going with the top 5.
Right, definitely. Okay. All right, so going into the top 5 portion, my top 5, my 5th most exciting game I'm looking forward to is
5 golden ring. Sorry,
is Soul Calibur 6.
I knew that was going to be on your list somewhere.
Oh yeah, definitely. I actually got done watching a streamer who had he actually had one of the Bandai Namco guys come over and bring a build from E3 to play it on stream for about a good like hour and a half or 2 hours. It looks great. Like every Soul Calibur game always have looked good. So seeing this in action and how good it looks is awesome. But it's taken elements from other games, from previous Soul Calibur games, and put it into this one. And from what I've seen, it looks good. It's fast. The mechanics of the game lend itself to new players, but also veteran players as well. Put it in the pair system that you don't have to cost meter.
I keep saying that, like, if you want to sell your fighting game, if you want to sell any game, you need to market it like. Let me rephrase that, because the Souls games don't have to market towards the casual player, because they're intentionally designed to be grindy. They're not grindy, but hard. Or like Cuphead can definitely be marketed towards a certain audience that likes really hard games. Soul Calibur, on the other hand, absolutely needs to market towards people who love the technical aspect of a fighting game, plus just having fun with a friend. And so what you're saying, I think, is really brilliant that they're doing.
Definitely, and I'm excited. It is a reboot of the series, and it's something that they are. Well, it's a soft reboot, they said, and they're bringing.
Well, it's the 6th game. It has the number 6 after it. It has to be kind of a sequel, but not like I get it, but
yeah, because like it's not because some of these characters are basically like the Soul Calibur 1-2 characters right now, as we've seen for the most part. And 3 because Mazel is in there as well. So, but I'm excited. It's been a while since I played a Soul Calibur game. I forgot how long Soul Calibur 5 was first released, but that's the last time I played a Soul Calibur game.
Last time I played Soul Calibur game was when they had Yoda and Link.
Oh, that was Soul Calibur 4? Yeah, 4. That's 4.
Okay, that's when I last played.
Yeah, I remember that day too because I called what was it? I forgot what it was called. I think it was like the information hotline or like no, it might have been GameStop or some other store I was looking for. I was asking for Soul Calibur 4, and the person on the other line was like I didn't say anything, but I was asking around for information about what other stores are open at this time, and she asked me like straight up, "Are you getting Soul Calibur 4?" It's like yes. She knew.
Yeah.
So that was I'm excited. I'm pretty excited. All right, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is Super Mario Party. So I love the Mario Party franchise, and the past iterations have just been garbo. They're so bad, and it's not because they're bad because like the minigames suck, because arguably every Mario Party has had fun minigames. And I would even argue that the last Mario Party 10, had the like 4 players versus Bowser with the Wii U gamepad. That was super fun, but at the end of the day, it wasn't enough. Like it just felt like it was lacking, and there was no competitive mode amongst the players. Like it was like all the players team up against Bowser, kind of. It was very bizarre, and I just didn't think it was a very good Mario Party. So the fact that this Mario Party seems like it's a return to what makes Mario Party clever, but also with new minigames, like I'm super excited about that. Plus, how can you get mad at a Goomba trying to tricycle?
That's true.
Like a Goomba pedaling, like that was fucking adorable. Plus, it's got an online mode that allows for players. Like this was announced later, but it's got an online mode that allows for players to compete against each other in the mini games, like a minigame like thing. I don't know. That's fun. It's got like I said, it's got the classic mode, but it's also got like I don't remember the name of it. It was like Toad's Take a Break or Toad's something, but it's the stuff you see in the trailer that looks like they're linking two Switches together.
Yeah, that's cool. It's really cool. I like that.
That's a separate mode. Like that's an entirely separate mode. Mm-hmm. So if you only have one Switch in your house, you're not going to be playing that mode unless you have a friend that brings his over. Toad's Tasty Taint. That's what it was called. Thank you, Josh. But yeah, everything about this excites me. I can take it over to my nephew's house and I can play with them. I probably should buy another set of Joy-Cons before taking it over there. Thinking about it that I only have technically 3 controllers. Regardless, I can take it wherever I want, and everyone can have fun now. It's just I'm really, really fucking excited about it. Plus, my buddy who like has parties at his house, board game parties, I know that he's gonna have Mario Party parties, and his wife Megan is very violent when it comes to Mario Party. All of a sudden, like if you steal a star from her, she's just like, "You fucking piece of shit." It's hilarious.
That's great.
So
That's great.
yeah, I love Mario Party. I love the competitiveness in it. I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, I'm actually excited for Mario Party. It wasn't on my list, but I definitely was. It is definitely a game I'm excited for as well. Also for the fun fact, it is a Super Mario Party game, not what was last game, where like you were all on the same
Right,
the same boat. Or
that's
the
why
same thing.
yeah, that's why I said return to classic form.
Absolutely. All right, moving on to my number 4, and that is. It is. Just give me a second so I can remember what it is. Oh yes, of course. Resident Evil 2 remake. I had a feeling. No, well, take that back. I didn't know it was going to be at the Sony press conference at E3 this year. I know that Capcom said they were making it long ago. They were making an RE2 remake. But we haven't heard from anything from them for a long time. So when they showed up at this press conference at Sony, and they showed off Resident Evil 2, my God, it looks so damn good. On top of that, when I looked, actually, afterwards I looked at some footage of some gameplay of it, and it's basically the Resident Evil 7 engine, but using it to enhance Resident Evil 2, the characters and the graphics and how good and detailed they can look. I remember one of the scenes in the gameplay footage was this guy was on the ground, he was screaming, and Leon trying to drag him out. Half his body was being eaten, on like kind of hidden behind like a metal curtain. You couldn't see what it was, but he was screaming, and like Leon's able to pull him out, and like as he pulled him out, like half his body was gone. Like his guts were all like on the floor, and he died instantly. But you could see the intestines and the detail of it was ridiculous. It's gnarly, but it was super cool. It's really cool. It looks awesome. I will not play it because it will scare the crap out of me, but I will watch people play it.
Yeah, I think that's, well, I mean, my history with like Resident Evil 2 is that I that's the one I watched the most as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
When Resident Evil was a big deal, which was when 2 technically came out, because when 1 was out, it wasn't that big, but 2 made it huge.
Yeah.
We had friends come over who loved to play it, who were really good at it, and they would play through the whole campaign as Leon, and then we played through the second part as Claire. And then we had Koz that did Tofu, and like another guy with like a big ass bodysuit.
Hunk. Yeah, it's Hunk. Yeah,
Hunk. Thank you. Yeah. So I watched a ton of Resident Evil 2, and we even got like the special ending that like led right into Code Veronica and 4.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. So there was a lot that it did that I thought was really cool, and I'm really, really, really hoping that this version does that stuff.
Actually, to kind of add on to that, they actually did announce that they're actually adding those features and modes that were in the original Resident Evil 2 game into this game. So you get to play as Tofu, you get to play the Hunk.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I mean, it's a terrifying looking game, and I'm gonna be watching it, through my eyes like this. But
yeah.
I won't play it. The hell no will I play it.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah.
All lights on. TV as bright as it can get, so I can see every fucking dim corner. Like, that's how I'm watching it.
Oh, definitely. I got through the photo stills that I got from Capcom because I have access to the Capcom media site. Boy, the detail, fucking A.
I gotta say though, I'm really surprised you put it this high on your list, but don't plan on playing it.
Because we're living a day and age where we can play and watch games.
I specifically put things on my list that I plan on playing.
I I
Very
intend to play
specifically.
most of these games I'm about to play. I might play RE2, honestly. I did play RE2.
Then why is this at number 4?
Because it's cool. I love it. It's awesome.
It's cool. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I was not going to put it on my list primarily because I don't plan on actually playing it.
I will try both. I will try playing it, but also will watch it too at the same time. So either or. But yeah, it's cool. Can't wait. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. So back when I was just starting streaming on Half Empty Energy Tank is when Ori and the Blind Forest came out, and I loved that game. It was just a few, I think it was like 2, maybe 3 streams total. Played through the whole fucking game, loved every goddamn second of it. Well, I didn't love the parts where you had to be super fast. Those parts kind of sucked, but they were cool. They were absolutely cool. And I love the art style, the music, the feel, the spirit, the touch of Cotton. I love it. It's so fucking good. Everything about Ori and the Blind Forest is good. The fact that it got a sequel is tremendously awesome to me. And look at these characters. Like, you're looking at them right now, or at least I'm looking at a delay, and they're fucking adorable.
Yeah, it's
like
good.
I'm so excited. And then at the end of this trailer, it shows what arguably is one of the most terrifying fucking visages ever.
Yeah.
Like, it's awful looking, and I can't wait to fucking experience this game. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's really good. I really need to sit down and play this game. I have it, the first one, on my PC right now. I should really sit down and play it one of these days. But yeah, this game looks good. Fucking A. It's a work of art. So.
Yeah, this is games as art for sure.
Definitely.
But yeah, I cannot be more excited for Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
All right, my number 3 game is Spooderman. So for those who don't know, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I love Spider-Man, and seeing this game in action at E3 during the Sony press conference, it just looks great. The swinging looks very good. You got, assumably, is going to be the Sinister Six that you got to fight against. Little alternate variation on this game, but that aspect of it is really cool. The graphics obviously look great. The combat is, they even said like it is, they very much inspired by the Batman, Arkham Asylum and Arkham games that were very, very similar, and took that page but then enhanced it with Spider-Man to where like he can do several combos and bounce off enemies from one person to another. It's really cool. Spider-Man moves like Spider-Man, and it's a game I'm really looking forward to. Obviously for PS4. Hopefully when I'm down there, have a job and have money, I'll have a PS4 again and get this. But I cannot wait for this game to come out. It's really cool. I cannot wait for what's in store in the future. And Insomniac Games, man, Jesus, these guys are insane. These guys are good. So
yeah.
All right.
I'm not saying anything yet for obvious reasons.
I know. What is your number 3, Greg?
My number 3 is Gears 5 or Gears of War 5. I like how they're taking off the of war and they're just calling it Gears.
Yeah.
But I like, again, as I stated with Tactics, I fucking love the Gears franchise. I love everything about it, and the fact that, like, spoiler alert, if you played 4 and you beat it, you know that like there's this big reveal that Kate Diaz's like grandmother has something to do with the Locust. And so that's what this story is going to be about, is her figuring that out. But I love the fucking character growth with all these new characters, with JD, with Kate, with the other guy that I can't remember his name for the life of me for some reason now.
The son of Marcus Phoenix.
No, that's JD.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about the black dude. I can't remember his name.
Okay, gotcha.
He was player 2 if you played co-op with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's JD's like best friend or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
God, I can't remember his name. It's been a while since I played Gears 4.
It's been a while
regardless.
since Gears 4, so yeah, understandably.
But I love it. I love the world building. I love the extension of the universe. Well, of Sarah, I should say. So, Very, very excited about it. And that's another thing. Just gonna throw this out there. I love that even Gears now is going to the extent of saying, like, you know what? We need more women in leads.
Yeah,
like
that's very true. That's very true.
I think that entirely the choice of making Kate the main character in this is to tell that story. I don't think it has to do with the fact that she is a woman and they're just like trying to push a woman onto us. I think it just fits the narrative just right. But the fact that she is the lead, I think, is rad as hell. So I'm stoked to dive the fuck into this game.
Yeah, definitely. Like, if we were to look back at the Gears series, like Gears 4 or Gears of War, was definitely a dude bro, like, over masculine type of game for quite some time, and I think that
I don't agree.
I
don't agree. I hate that. I hate that attitude. I hate that attitude because everyone says that, but it wasn't a dude bro game. It absolutely wasn't. The whole franchise has been incredibly sad.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yes.
Just because the dudes look fucking massive, which is 90% fucking armor, doesn't necessarily mean that they're dude bro. The visceral explosion of chunks and limbs and stuff like that, that's just because they wanted to make a gory game. But if the more you play of these games, the less and less they become dude bro, just because of the story. Like, yes, and arguably in the first game, Marcus and Dom are like really good friends, and they have lines that are very like, yeah, dude, let's do this. And then you run into fucking Baird and Cole, and you're just like, well, that's even more dude bro. But as that story progresses and it gets to the part about it being father and son, and discovering shit about your father you didn't know and how much of a piece of shit he is, it becomes less and less of that dude bro. By the time the sequel starts, it's not that at all. It becomes even less that, because it now has to do with surviving and getting out of this shitty situation, and then learning more about your family lineage, or Marcus's family lineage. And then the third game is just wrapping that shit the fuck up in a nice neat bow. You even, like, there's a moment at the end of the third game where Marcus is holding his father dying, where his father's apologizing for all the errors that he made.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. The story itself is very sad, it's very somber, and it kind of, on the outset, started out, or just on the outside, just like, it looked like a dude bro game, like people in giant armor and shooting people and chainsawing people. Like, yes, that is from the outset, yes, this looks like a dude bro game, but inside, like, the story,
I absolutely hate looking at a cover judging a book by its cover, which is exactly what that is. That is exactly what that is.
And people perceive that way, so not all. Like, we know, but like everybody else who plays the game.
And Anthony, I don't give a fuck about those people. I don't honestly care if somebody from the outside isn't willing to look at Gears with a fresh coat of paint. It's not like I'm looking at fucking people who play Stardew Valley and assuming that they're just boring people. Or going, oh, are you really interested in God, I don't know, Splatoon because you like to look at little kids naked? Like, it's that same attitude, man. I mean, that's an extreme. That's really quite the extreme.
Right.
But, like, do I look at you, Anthony, because you're a fan of My Little Pony and think that you're a pedophile? No. I just go, he's a fan of My Little Pony. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see why I don't give a fuck about those people?
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't give a fuck about that person that thinks that way about you just because you like My Little Pony.
Duly noted. Duly noted.
So, that's my rant.
Yeah.
Hey Ryan, how's it going, buddy? We're almost done with our top 10.
Yeah, came in right in an interesting time, actually.
I just fucking went on a rant.
All right, transitioning into my number 2. Most anticipated game of E3 for next year is quite obvious. Doom Eternal. I love the hell out of Doom 2016. I love pretty much most of the Dooms, honestly. And oh man, I love Doom 2016. The music in the game is fantastic. Mick Gordon is a god. The metal head and the rock that he brings to the game is insane.
But Anthony, Doom is just a dude bro game.
If it is, then I'm a dude bro. Like it
See what I hate there?
like it is a fast-paced game. You go from demon to demon in the original Doom, and you're killing. You're doing these awesome fast animation of kill deaths. You're platforming to some degree, but like you're also just like tearing through levels and through demons, and it's really fun. And they, with the sequel, they're bringing hell on earth. Essentially, it is essentially Doom 2, but they call it Doom Eternal, but essentially it's Doom 2, which is awesome. I cannot wait for this game. I take all the time you need to complete it, but Doom Eternal, Doom 2, I cannot wait. And I can't wait for the live stream as seen on screen at QuakeCon on August 10th. So I am excited beyond belief.
That was a really cool thing for them to say, because they didn't really have any gameplay for it, and I know that people really want to see gameplay. So the fact that we're getting gameplay at the end of the summer is really fucking neat.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm gonna have such a hard on.
No, Doom is Jesus Christ. I think the cool thing about Doom Eternal is that it takes place on Earth.
Yes.
So something about like the Doom games, as you go further into the franchise, like eventually you do go to Earth. I don't remember which Doom it is, but
Doom 2. No, might have been one of the chapters in Doom.
I don't think Doom 2 was on Earth. I think it was like later than that. But regardless, you do eventually go to Earth, and I don't remember how Doom ends.
But the original Doom or Doom 2?
This new Doom.
Oh,
the new Doom.
Yeah, in New Doom, you basically what happened is that you defeat the Mother Brain, or I forgot the big brain monster you saw in the trailer, and you defeat her, and then you are sucked up into it like a spaceship, and that's where you're kind of held in place as Samuel Hayden takes that artifact you took to like when you defeated the two bosses prior to the Mother Brain, and it unveils it actually was a big sword, and it was actually Energon that he said he was going to use to complete his work. And then they kind of cliffhanger from there, sent you back down. So I'm
okay. So it's not necessarily like, the reason I was asking is because I was wondering if the end of Doom had you go into the idea of it being like it leading to Earth. Like you could be like, you could finish Doom 1 and be like, we're going to Earth. Like,
no.
But it seems like that's not the case. So
yeah, they did not hint at in the end of Doom. But boy, I cannot wait. Oh God, no, I'm excited.
Are you playing on PC?
Oh yes.
Okay.
PC.
I figured as much. I feel like Doom is definitely a PC game. Because it was so fucking fast paced when I played it on my Xbox. I had a hard time keeping up with it later in the game. And I was like, if I could turn faster without feeling sick with my controller, I would absolutely do it. So I had to stop playing because it just got too difficult. However, I will say I fucking loved that multiplayer. The multiplayer was super fun. So if Doom Eternal could have more of that, I would be happy.
In due time, we'll see. We shall see. Well, what is your number 2, Greg?
My number 2 is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, it may come as a weird surprise that would be my number 2. But first and foremost, Nintendo's killing it. Nintendo is killing it with their franchises for the Switch. Not only are they bringing over some of their best games from the Wii U, a system that kind of failed. Nice with the video there.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry.
But also, like, the fact that Smash Ultimate wait, what's going on there, Anthony? There we go.
It's fixed. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I see a delay for myself, but that was funny. But the fact that, like, first and foremost, this game seems like it's definitely in lieu with trying to make it more of a competitive game. Less of, like, that automatic tripping bullshit or something else in that fact, but also still at the same time making it fun. I think a really, really smart idea for both casual and hardcore is making Ultimate Smashes like instant.
Yeah, I do enjoy that. Yeah, they made it much more easier on the pad now, and short jumps as well. So that's also fantastic.
Yeah. There's a lot of little like quality of life tweaks with this game that I think really, really make it stand out. I'd also like to point out to everybody, I fucking called it that it was a new game. absolutely fucking called that shit. So y'all can suck my chode. When I say you all, I mean the people who disagreed with me. But yeah, I'm really, really excited about how it looks. I'm really excited to get to dive back into this game. I don't plan on playing it hardcore. Like, I'm a casual Smash player. I love doing like all items on, and like you increase the amount of times the fucking assist trophies come in. Like, I'm stoked about that. Or Pokeballs. I love the fact that like a lot of these characters have alternate costumes that allude to something else. But the fact it has every character that's ever been in Smash is really cool. And I know they said somewhere, I know I read somewhere that at least 5 new characters are being added to Smash. We got Squid Kid, we got Ridley, so we got 3 more coming before December. We have to. It only makes sense.
I honestly hope they end on 69, just because.
That'd be funny.
I would love that, actually.
So have you seen Kirby's Squid Kid form?
I did, yeah. I seen it.
It's my new Discord picture. It's fucking adorable, and I'm so happy that it exists.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm really happy to get back into this and play it. And from what I understand, like, not only every character, I should mention this, not only every character is back, every assist trophy, every Pokemon, every stage, everything is in this version. Everything.
Yeah, the ultimate. As the title
says.
Yeah,
there you go.
It is the ultimate version.
But yeah, I plan on doing like somebody's like, I'm just streaming Smash. We're gonna have fun. Like, I'm gonna fucking type in chat, can I play? Can I have fun with you?
Nice.
So yeah.
All right, now we're going into the most anticipated game for both of us. I go first. My most anticipated game, as soon as I fix this real quick, is obviously, if you've seen what happened to me. Oops, hang on. Sorry about that. If you've seen, obviously, what happened to me at this past year's E3 in the Microsoft press conference, you know that I was losing my shit when I saw Devil May Cry 5. And yeah, it's my number 1 game. I cannot wait. I end up watching that trailer at least a good couple dozen times in the past couple of days, just every so often. It's like, I'm gonna watch it again. It's really good. I also figured out like who's who. It's like, oh, awesome. So Nero, Dante, and Virgil going to be in it. It's awesome.
Anthony,
it's really
is
cool.
it Nero? Is it Nero? Is it the new Dante? It's Nero. It's got to be Nero. Is it new Dante? It's got to be Dante, right? Is it new Nero?
Hey man, when I was that excited, I couldn't think. I was trying to figure it out with like a half brain. But I'm really excited. Apparently, this is the most ambitious Devil May Cry game that they are planning to make. This is the end of the Sparta saga. But goddamn, it looks so good. It looks like the gameplay is going to be just as awesome and just as crazy as the previous games. And it's definitely, they'll have some cheese moments for sure in this game, but just
it's Devil May Cry. If it doesn't come with cheese, then it's not worth it.
It's true. It's very true. So I'm really excited. I'm really excited about the game. I really, really cannot wait for this game when it comes out. And I'm definitely gonna be playing. I'm probably gonna plan to play the Devil May Cry 4 special edition on this stream before Devil May Cry 5, just to lead up to. But man, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I think I will say this. Aside from the jokes, I do think it's really cool that they decided to deliver something that fans have really wanted. Mm-hmm. Fans, like, yes, the new Devil May Cry, Anthony, I know you said it's a good game. I would argue that it may have been a good game to play, but as for story, it was probably garbage. Primarily because it tried to reboot a franchise that was already well established. I think having Nero the main character for this is really smart, just because it's not like, oh, it's always Dante.
Right, right, definitely.
So like I'm really happy that fans are getting the Devil May Cry they want. As for me, I think I've only played the first one. So I have no idea what the fuck's going on. or why Dante at the very end of the trailer looks a little weird.
He's an old man now. He's an old Dante. He's got a beard. His hair.
Is Virgil still in the franchise at this point?
Yes. Actually, like somebody actually figured out that Virgil was in the trailer. He's the one that cut off. He's the one that cut off Nero's arm. So. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I cannot wait. Cannot wait.
Cool.
And Greg's #1 game for E3 is
Spider-Man. Now, if you know me well enough, you know that A, I love superheroes. B, Spider-Man's my favorite Marvel character. And C, that I played ungodly amounts of hours of Spider-Man on the PS2. Or Spider-Man 2 on the PS2. That game felt perfect for web swinging. That was the only, like, you play it today and it still feels good. When people who played this demo at E3 said that the swinging feels so right and so well done that all they wanted to do was swing around the city. There were people that played the demo and started swinging and they had only like 10 minutes and they spent the entire 10 minutes swinging around the city and did nothing else. It feels that good, which arguably is the thing that makes Spider-Man Spider-Man. Like, he's called the web slinger, not because he's really quick with fighting or has the spider sense, but because he has the webbing and swings around the fucking city. That being said, the combat looks incredible. I've never seen Spider-Man this good in a fucking video game when it comes to combat. So I'm beyond the moon about how well it looked. Plus, it's older Spider-Man. Or is it older Spider-Man or younger Spider-Man? I don't remember what they said.
It's Peter Parker and it's older Spider-Man, so it's not
older.
Yeah, like they said like they're not.
Like he's more experienced. Yeah.
Yeah, they said they're not doing the whole origin like every other story for Spider-Man is. This is just.
Well, I knew they weren't gonna do the origin, but like I'd heard that it was an older Spider-Man, and I took that as it was an older Spider-Man because of how well he can use his webbing.
Right.
Younger Spider-Man was still figuring it out and getting shit wrong. So, but he has gadgets out the ass. Like it looks so cool. Plus, like, people just sat around on the tallest building that they could reach while they were in the middle of Manhattan and like looked in the distance.
Yeah,
and
super cool.
You could
That's
see,
so awesome.
You could see the Avengers Tower. So I'm actually really hoping that Marvel's like a little bit like lenient with the shit that can be in this game, and then suddenly like Peter just like calls up fucking Johnny Storm or some shit like that. I fucking lose my mind.
That's great. As far as I know, like I think only concerned with the Spider-Man universe of Sony, because this is a Sony, it's a Sony game and it's also a Sony product, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna keep it to that universe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly how expanded and creative they can get with it. I want to say it's gonna be fine, but like I'm not quite sure honestly. So, but regardless,
yeah, it's because cool. There's a reason that it's exclusive to the PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's because Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. But with Marvel and Sony having that close-knit, relationship, I'm really hoping that Marvel's like, yeah, dude, throw the Avengers in there, throw other characters that maybe you don't own. I'm really hoping Black Cat shows up in this.
Yeah. Oh god, it'd be so cool. Yes, Black Cat.
I'm really fucking excited about this game, and like this, the reason it's my #1 also is because this is a system seller for me.
Wow.
I don't own a PS4, and I need to buy the system to get this to play this game. So.
Wow. That's
yeah.
You don't hear that nowadays. You honestly do not hear the fact that people. I mean, there's still people out there who buy games specifically for or buy systems specifically for games, but you do not hear that talk as often anymore.
What's really funny, and I want to throw this out there because Josh just kind of mentioned it in chat. A lot of people would sit there online and they were just like, oh, look at all these villains, it's really cool. And some people were like, yeah, it's the Sinister Six, it's really rad. And some people were like, it's not the Sinister Six because this character's not in it. Which I would argue, like, you realize that the Sinister Six, like, at one point was the Sinister Seven, and there were at least a solid 15 different villains that have been a part of the Sinister Six at different points. Like, quite literally, that name is, there are 6 villains that Spider-Man has to go up against. That's literally it. That being said, I also am convinced that the person that Peter's looking at is Green Goblin, but not Norman Osborn. It's Harry.
Huh. Okay. I can see that. I can see that. Okay. Sounds
So
good.
I think that because that would make for a really cool dynamic story to tell, while people still kind of like know who Harry is and know that storyline, but like arguably this game could be what Spider-Man 3 should have been.
Yeah.
So, oh my god, look at that dynamic fighting! I'm just so excited about this game.
I know. I've become looking at it too. It looks really, really fucking good. But that's our top 10 games for E3 that we are most excited for E3. So quickly before we move on to our last topic before we go into the after show, leave me a second here as I bring up the kind of